So we know the importance of a logic, propositional logic, predicate logic, first order logic, and followed by what to say, maybe of a monotic, non-monotic, and the important in terms of finding a logic in terms of a knowledge-based system. Because without a logic, first order logic, propositional, predicate, and proportional logic, calculation, etc., it is very difficult to find out the solution to a problem. Now in the today's class, we are getting into the one of the important topic in terms of the running time and efficiency to find the sets of the logic finder based system, computational intractability. What the term computation, what are the various computing challenge and how to track it and how to overcome it in terms of attaining the efficient and then effective approach in terms of the O, simple O, big O, alpha, etc. notation in terms of the running time. So now going to considering a problem belongs to the complexity in terms of P complexity, problem complexity, either in terms of memory or running or maybe of a atomic complexity class. If there is an algorithm, a logic, an idea to solve it, what are the ways when the problem is complex? So here you should find out in which state or which atomic state the problem is getting into complex and how to getting in. First is an exponential time. So when a problem is getting involved or finding the problem, what is the memory constraint and what is the running time and computing time? See here exponential time in terms of the depending upon the input size of the problem. When problem is of a complex problem, very tough scenario, the problem is very big problem. So it will be derived in terms of m and n parameter. Exponential, the value of the input will be differ in terms of the exponential value from minus infinity to plus infinity or 0 to infinity. In such case, we should find out the exponential time complexity of the problem. Now we are getting into the polynomial time. What about the running time of the problem? Again, everything depending upon the input size of the problem. And again in terms of the either m and n or maybe of any of the condition. So we see the two types of the problem, exponential time and followed by of a polynomial time. And constant time. So when it is getting into the loop, it will be involved in terms of finding either of the implication, what are the decision and looping and etc. And how to get into the looping condition and again in terms of validating the value until the true value exists. This is called a computational or maybe of what happened constant time. How the CPU involved in terms of its time, calculating in terms of looping and then implication. Finally, what happened? Logarithmic. The logarithmic will be coming into the base n and followed by a number of logic, natural base n, log n, etc. available. So the fourth type, what happened? Exponential and followed by a polynomial, logarithmic time and constant time. The logarithmic time will be getting into the natural logarithm, etc. Again, it will be depending upon the input size and complexity and m and n. But finally, what happened? The runtime parallelly computing and integrated in terms of the compile time. How long the memory is coincide with the runtime depending upon the computation of the system. Whenever any query is posted in terms of any search, it will be taking some of the time measure. How long the polynomial time? So the answer is polynomial time, not of a exponential, not of a constant, not of a logarithmic. The polynomial time, through which of the polynomial time we can easily find out the complexity nature of the problem. And forwardly it can be getting into the any of the logical or in terms of the fuzzy logic, monotonic, non-monotonic, and also the various predicates will be allowed and quantifier and entails will be allowed in terms of finding the solution for the scenario or depending upon the complexity of the problem. It can be of anything. When you try to make your bread to be ready in terms of the oven, in terms of fuzzy logic or maybe a washing machine fuzzy logic, in terms of this computational intractability, it will be only focusing to the polynomial time. Polynomial time there will be involved in terms of the depend upon the complexity of the problem, m and n. So it will be depending upon the input size and followed by how long the different scenario, atomic and monotonic will be getting in. So in today's class deal with one of the important parameter in terms of logic, which is called computational intractability. Computation intractability will be dealing with the help of the complexity of the logic of the problem in terms of the algorithmic time, constant time, polynomial time and exponential time. But you need to focus to the what to say polynomial time. What are the different variables involved, different varieties and then different complexity, different atomic statements will be involved. Now to find the solution. It's one of the important condition. So we can find out the various of the running algorithm, either in terms of O, big O, alpha and big notation. So you need to focus on polynomial time. Very thank you my dear students.